Welcome to the Building Knowledge Channel. I'm Jamie Perkins. Behind the camera is my brother Eric, and we are the Perkins Builder Brothers on our other channel, but thanks for joining us here. Today we're going to talk about clear wood finishes, all right, for inside and for outside. That's code for interior and exterior, and that's really a big part of what this video is going to be about, where to use what finish on wood.
What does that have anything to do with what we're doing today on the job site?
Don't worry about it, Ray.
Okay.
All right, this topic of wood finishing, it can get overlooked because it may seem small, minuscule, not important.
Or boring.
Boring. And so we're just going to shed a little bit of our experience on this topic. Even if you don't do the finishing yourself, that doesn't mean that you don't need to know about it. Because let's say you're a contractor, you are the one responsible for making sure that your subcontractors or your workers or your employees, your laborers, whoever you are hiring to do this work, you need to make sure they are doing it correctly with the right finishes, the right products. And believe me, I've screwed it up plenty of times myself. And you know, that's kind of what leads you to finding the answers that you need to know. We're going to start with the most common and the most basic two types of finishes that we know of: water-based and oil-based. Now, this would also be solvent-based or water-borne. And I couldn't tell you all the differences because it would take someone who went to college to explain all the finer details. But here's the deal. A solvent-based, oil-based finish, it is stinky, okay?
Oh,
it smells bad.
It'll get you a little high, I want to say, if you're smelling the stuff inside too long.
Well, on the can it says use in a well-ventilated area or something like that and wear a respirator. It's because it has VOCs, a substantial amount. That stands for volatile organic compounds.
Yeah, and I want to mention our dad used to stick us in like closets doing baseboards with this stuff. And with no respirator as a kid. And that maybe explains a lot. We don't do that anymore, by the way.
No, that's a good
Thanks
thing
for that, Dad.
That's a good thing to put on the video there. Yeah, if you're inside with this stuff for an extended period of time, it will kind of mess with your head. You'll feel a little lightheaded, and actually you'll taste it.
Yep. So you should be wearing a respirator.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't like to wear a respirator if I don't have to. So that's only one reason. The oil-based finishes do take longer time to dry. And if you're in a hurry to get 2 coats on and get sanded between coats, say in 1 day on a project, it may not happen with oil base. You may be pushed to 2 days or maybe even 3 if there's like high humidity. Because
we've had 3 or 4 or 5 days in the winter.
Yeah, it can extend the drying time. There are some that dry fast, but the water-based stuff dries much quicker. So that's one really big benefit to water-based. Again, there's a lot more than we know, but I'm going to share with you what I do know. I don't think oil-based finishes have as good of a UV inhibitor as water-based products. I don't know exactly, but listen, if you use oil-based finish, you can expect your wood to darken quicker. Darken and or yellow. Say it's pine. Let's say it's a light colored pine. It's going to turn more of an amber color, and it'll do it much quicker than if you use a water base. It'll stay more of the kind of white color of like white pine. It'll stay brighter longer
because of the UV. It's like sunscreen.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. It like protects it from getting sunburned. All right. Now, if you have a picture on a wall for a long time in the same spot on a wood wall, if you pull the picture off, you'll notice like a big white area behind it. And that's because it didn't get as much sun, okay? And everything around it did, and it turns it kind of yellow. And then what are you going to do then? You got a big spot on your wall. How are you going to fix that? I don't know.
You got to hang something else the same shape and size.
Yeah. One thing that's good about oil-based finishes is that it doesn't raise the grain. And what I mean by that is these little tiny fibers that stand up on the surface of the board or a piece of wood when you put a finish on it. Okay, so
water-based stain is like putting water on the board.
It kind of is. And so you might notice it feels more rough to the touch after the finish dries. So then you got to sand it down. Well, you got to sand it down no matter what kind of finish you use to do multiple coats. At least it's highly recommended. So with a water-based finish, sometimes we use a sanding sealer, which is basically, I don't know what it is really. It acts kind of like a diluted sort of finish, but what it does is it allows the grain to raise up, but it's very easy to sand it back slick. And then you've got
it dries really hard.
It dries hard. It dries fast. So then you've got a nice surface that you can put a poly on. We call it polyurethane. And it won't raise the grain on the second time around. So you might get away with 1 coat of sanding sealer and 1 coat of actual finish like polyurethane.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to double, like reiterate that the sanding after you put the first coat on and then reapplying is so important to get a good finish.
Yes.
You're not going to put 1 coat of anything on there and have it look good or feel nice when you touch it. That's impossible. I wish it was possible.
I think it is impossible.
So expect to do many coats.
I don't know why people think they can just lay one heavy coat and then they're done.
I don't know.
No.
Because you didn't tell them yet that you can't do that.
No, I don't know why people think that. Let's just say you want to have a good looking, nice, smooth finish, right? You should expect to do 2 to 3. You could even do 4 coats. There's even some kind of finishes like lacquer, for example. You might use lacquer clear finish and you might do 5 or 6 or 10 coats.
Ouch.
Okay, we don't use lacquer here in building homes. I don't, but I have good friends that actually build cabinets and put lacquer finishes on all their wood and all their baseboards, all their door trims, all of their doors, cabinets. Lacquer can be an excellent finish. We don't use it because typically you need to spray it, and lacquer is a very kind of volatile, flammable.
Ooh, sounds fun.
I guess if you're like a pyro or something. Anyway, done right, it's great. Lacquer's awesome, but we just don't do lacquer, so we're in the water finish category. So let's talk about water-based finishes now. The kind that I like to use the most is a brand called ZAR, Z-A-R. There are lots of like house brands, like lots of the hardware stores have their own brand of like a water-based polyurethane, and they can be okay. I'm not saying that they're not good.
I think you are.
But what I'm saying is I think the ZAR is the best one that I've used, and it comes in a finish, a sheen, I should say, that I really like, and it's called matte, M-A-T-T-E. It used to be
Matte.
called, they had one, what was it called? Antique Flat. Okay, it was called Antique Flat, but now they changed it. It's called matte. And what I like about that is low gloss, meaning not much gloss, not a lot of shine. It's easy on the eyes, okay?
Yeah.
It's just nice to look
I
at.
love the low gloss too, and it's hard to get that in an oil base.
I don't know if they don't offer it. I think there are additives you can add, like a deglosser. I think you could add to almost any type of finish, but I've never done that, and I would assume you have to kind of know what you're doing to mix the right amount in.
Would you say matte is where it's at?
I think matte's where it's at. Matte's on a floor looks good. Matte on a door looks good. Matte on a piece of trim. Matte on a cabinet. Matte on your furniture, okay? I use it even on metal, okay? I put matte finish, water-based polyurethane on metal, and it does amazing.
And so let's say this stuff is more expensive though, like $90 a gallon.
It might be.
But it's probably worth it. You're going to
It might
spend
be.
less labor to get a good looking finish.
Okay, I don't mind buying a product that makes me look good when I'm done. All right, I don't want to spend like $80 on something and then poo-poo when I'm done. Can I say that? I don't know if I can say that.
You said it.
But if you spend like the 90 or 100 and get the really good stuff, man, you got your project finished up. People see it, they're going to say, wow, man, how do you do that? And you'll be like, I'm not telling you. That's my secret.
You just told everyone.
Oh, right. Okay, well, I will tell everybody. That's the whole point of this. So anyway, I think I need to explain something here about the sheen, okay? All right, let's talk about high gloss versus like low gloss. Let's just use the extremes here, okay? High gloss. We got asked to do high gloss on a ceiling once by the customer, so we did it. Now, let's think about something that's high
I must
gloss.
have blocked that from my memory.
Well, I hope you did. I'm trying to. Okay, let's talk about a beautiful paint job on a nice classic car. Just the most beautiful one you can imagine. Nice deep black. Let's say a black car.
Mustang.
Let's call it a Mustang.
Yeah.
I was thinking Porsche.
Oh.
Well, they're not classic necessarily, but it has to do with age, I think, instead of.
You have derailed. All right, reel it in.
Okay, nice deep black, glossy, wet-looking paint job, right?
I got it.
What you see when you look at that paint job, you see the reflection of everything around you. It's like a mirror, okay?
Yeah.
It's like a mirror. Now, those beautiful body lines and all that are going to be perfectly shaped, and they're going to reflect everything surrounding you in such a nice way. You're just going to love it, right? Well, when you do that on a piece of wood that has grain and it has like some imperfections, what you see is the images of everything around you reflected but distorted because of the, minor imperfections in the surface, all right? It is very difficult to make a piece of wood look awesome in high gloss unless it is perfect.
Or it has about a 1/4 inch of finish on it. So
Yeah.
the finish has actually floated out those imperfections.
Yeah. You could do that, but then you're talking some major work and really, really a lot of time, more time than you're going to want to put into it. So
Right.
the matte finish, what it does, it's almost like blurring. Like when you squint and everything gets blurry, in essence, it blurs the reflection so that it just, you don't notice the imperfections. It's like putting a flat paint on a ceiling with a little bit of texture, like a knockdown finish on a drywall ceiling, and using a flat paint, it kind of just prevents those reflections from making the imperfections visible. Okay?
Makes it look good.
Do you follow me here?
Even if it isn't good.
So you can, I don't want to say you can get away with doing a less good job or a less quality job by using a matte finish, but things just look more even. They look better. High gloss is not where we don't want to go to high gloss. I don't want to go there. You know, I feel like we're just getting started. I think we've
but this is the last thing now.
I think we've only hit the tip of the iceberg right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But we're just going to move on. We're going to fast forward because I think we're going to have to start another channel where I can actually talk about everything. Because I feel like this one's, it's getting there. Like, we're getting there. But anyway, so let's talk about interior versus exterior. Okay, your standard polyurethane, you're not gonna want to use that exterior.
But a lot of people do.
A lot of people do.
Because they don't know.
They don't know. It is not designed to get wet and have the weather. It is an interior product.
Or even just fog, moist.
Yeah, it is not a waterproof barrier for your wood. Standard, okay, like water-based polyurethane, oil-based polyurethane. You have to get a special product for outdoors. One that we've used a lot is the Helmsman, what is it called? Spar varnish. Okay, Spar varnish, that's an exterior product. Typically oil-based. Maybe they make a water-based. I think they make a water-based version of that now. Some other ones I really like for exterior is, well, you can use epoxy, okay? Epoxy is made for exterior.
And also a lot of work. You wouldn't want to apply that to like a ceiling or something.
No, you could. You could, but
terrible.
epoxy is a good product to waterproof almost anything you put it on. But it doesn't always have the correct UV inhibitors, and it can degrade over time with exposure.
Definitely.
So I came across a product called Halcyon. Hallycon. Halcyon? Is that?
I think that's right. It took a long time to figure out how to say it.
Okay, well, we can put that, we can spell that for you, but Halcyon it's called. And it's a product, I think it's a product only made by this company called Total Boat. And
that's Total Boat.
Total
Slow
Boat.
down, yeah.
This is not an ad for Total Boat, but I do like their finish, and I buy it and I use it because I like it. And they have some nice flat or matte type of sheens available. Or actually, it's satin. I think they call it satin.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And Halcyon is a varnish, right?
Yes, it's a water-based. This is water-based clear varnish. That is a UV protector. It can go over top of epoxy, and that's why we got it initially. I had an epoxy product that needed a top coat. And it's especially designed to go over epoxy, but you don't have to put it over epoxy.
No, it's on my front door.
You can apply it direct to wood. Oh, man, it makes it look beautiful. I'm serious. I'm serious. I don't know how they do it. And I don't need to know how. I just need to know that it does it. So if you want to clear coat an exterior something, like a piece of furniture.
Or a front door. Or a wood front door.
You know, this stuff is developed and used for boats. The name Total Boat, they are a boat building supplier. So literally, you can build a boat out of wood. You can paint this all over it, multiple coats, and you can throw it in the ocean. Now, if you can put it on a boat and throw it in the ocean and it's fine, that's the kind of stuff that I want to use on my exterior project that is not going to get submerged in salt water. It's just going to get some rain occasionally, so I know that it's going to stand up to the weather that it's getting.
Hey, one thing I'll say that you should do if you can, if possible, is pre-finish all these clear type wood finishes flat. Like don't put your ceiling material up and then brush it on, or put your baseboards in and then brush it on. It's not going to look as good. If you can lay it flat, you can put a little bit heavier of a coat. It'll dry looking nice. You can sand it. It won't run and get all over other things. That's what I would say. Pre-finish, if you can. And we do that now.
That's the way to go.
We didn't used to.
No, we've finished many ceilings, upside down, tongue and groove ceilings, big ceilings, with a brush, upside down. It runs down your arm, it runs down your elbow, it runs into your armpit. Okay, I don't like that. I don't know who likes that. Nobody.
So that's my pro tip. Pre-finish.
Great tip.
And I think we're probably out of time.
You think so?
I mean, there's no time limit on this channel per se.
Man. I feel like there's more to say. I just feel like I'm forgetting some things, but
yeah.
That might be it for now.
Yeah, we'll make another video with the stuff we forgot.
Can we recap? Is there any recap?
Oh, is all the excitement over already?
It's over, bud. You can get to work.
I never thought I'd actually want to stain.
Thanks for checking out this video on the Building Knowledge channel, where Eric and I try to put all of our building experience together and share it with you so that you can have better results on your projects and do a good job.
Thanks for talking, Jamie.
You're welcome.